I suggested a play, which was Prodigals in Promised Land by Hector Bunyan, which had been done in Toronto. And I thought it was a really interesting script. It was all about the black immigrant experience in Canada, which wasn't talked about so much then. And so I think I presented the script, and whoever it was decided it was a good idea to do it. That's how I got involved. And then I did The Caretaker in the following season, and I was on the board of directors for a while. The experience in Prodigals in Promised Land, people coming to Canada with great expectations and then running up against these terrible barriers, you know, which I think we're very familiar with now. You have to have Canadian experience, all that. Your qualifications are not good here, all that kind of stuff was very much there in those years. I think now that people's sons and daughters have been through the educational system, it's not quite so bad, you know. But it was hard for those immigrants back then. Now, it's Pinter. It's very difficult to do it in anything other than English accents. And of course, if you'd been to England, you would know that there were tons of the, you know, sons and daughters of immigrants from the Caribbean who had Cockney accents or Yorkshire accents or whatever. But in Montreal, people were only used to the idea of Caribbean accents from black people. And I do remember that there was a sort of, people were a bit stunned and didn't find it very credible that the actors had Cockney accents. But it was, in fact, perfectly in keeping with what was actually going on in England at the time. I just remember that as a sort of, you know, comic sidebar to it all. I had a lot of fun working with Black Theatre Workshop in those years, and for me it was an absolute eye-opener. It was just great to work with a different cultural community and to meet all these people from the islands who have become my friends, still are my friends. We had no money, that's what I remember. My designer for Prodigals had a budget of $200. So there was practically nothing on stage. Nevertheless, I think we did some good shows because the actors were so good. We were really trying to do something despite of the lack of money and everything. You know, we were trying to do something which spoke to people. Black Theatre Workshop been through a wonderful period with River Niger, and Raisin in the Sun, and mostly Terry Donald productions, actually. But there were some wonderful artists around. I was so thrilled by the work of Lorena Gale in those days. She did this wonderful success. She had this wonderful success with For Colored Girls, and it made an enormous amount of money. It was a smash hit for Black Theatre Workshop. And I remember, I think it was Marianne Ackerman who said, go directly, she began her review, go directly to the phone and order tickets for this show. And that was a show put on with no money and lots of spirit. And it really, I think, did a great deal for Black Theatre Workshop at the time. And it's so sad that Lorena Gale has died so young. She was so talented, one of my great friends.